Oh, hey everybody, welcome back to the No Cover TV podcast. Look who's in the house. Rob from Killing Flaw is in the house. We're going to have a great interview today, and we're actually jumping the pond today. He's over in Australia. This is great. So he's getting up right now, I think, getting his day started, and I'm ready to go to bed. So before we get to Rob, I want to talk to you out there and say thank you to each one of you checking out the No Cover TV podcast. We've done a lot of great shows that were on audio. They're on Spotify. They're on YouTube now, so you can check out all the great audio shows we've done and all the video podcasts we do with the artists, which is great because it's like being back on the TV days where anything goes. I don't edit, so what happens, happens. It's great for TV. You just never know what's going to happen. So, and continue to watch and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot of great artists like next door right here with Rob and Killing Flaw all around the world, all genres and all age groups. As you saw the last show, was with David Wyatt, the 11-year-old ukulele player. Blew me away. Unbelievable. Wow. So anyways, what am I going to say next, people? My three favorite words are support, support, support. Support these artists. Go to the shows. Pay a cover charge if there is one. Get to that swag table. Get a CD, an album, hoodie, t-shirt, keychain, bumper sticker, coffee mug. It goes on and it goes on. Get out to that stage and enjoy the show. See if you can stay afterwards and see if you can meet these great artists right here and see if you can get possibly an autograph. You just never know where they're going, and most of them are going right to the top right there. And remember, these artists love doing what they're doing to put a smile on your face, and your smile kicks right back to them and puts a big old smile and grin on the artist's face. It's a great thing. Music makes the world go around. It's a beautiful thing. Yes. So I said in the house, Rob from Killing Flaw out of Australia. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, brother. I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing?
Well, good. Thank you for coming on the show. A little time difference here, but we can make this work.
Yeah. I think the last one I did was 4 a.m. here for me.
4 a.m.
Yeah, and it was rough. So thank God it was a video thing. So it was.
Yeah. All right. Well, welcome to the entertainment world, right? We just don't get any sleep.
Yeah. Well, it's all about working out time zones and daylight savings and all that. Just trying to get that shit right. So yeah.
Right. Exactly. Definitely. So I don't know. Have you seen any of the interviews at all that I've done?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay, well, then you know what I'm going to do a little bit to you. So I told Rob before we start, I'm going to get him bad today. No. But in the beginning what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump in ahead of yours, Rob. I want to find some things out. All right, brother?
Sure, man. Go for it.
And don't try to hide anything because I'll find it. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. Let's get Rob's head, man. We got to go back in time always because we got to start at the beginning to where it all started. And let's go around 10 years old. You're listening to what mom and dad are playing, brothers, sisters are playing, cousins, uncles, this and that, and you're starting to figure out what you like. And what were you like at that age?
Yeah, well, let's go back even further. Let's go to I'm going to say crawling age.
Oh.
So it was a bit of a wrestle in my house. I think mid 70s. Rumors Fleetwood Mac was on the turntable. What a great record.
It was.
And that was kind of, I think, being subliminally pushed into my brain there. And then my uncle, who was a rebellious teenager at this point, had discovered the Allman Brothers and Alive at the Fillmore record, right? So, so that would be played at ear blasting volumes, and here's me, crawling around, my house, and years later, somebody sort of turned me onto it when I was playing, and I was like, man, I know this music, and I just couldn't work out where. And then, him and I had this conversation, and it was like, so you're the culprit.
You're the culprit, right?
Yeah. I thanked him, and we, we got to see Greg Allman a couple of years before he passed. It was just a bucket list for both of us to see him. And we actually got to see him like 2 nights in a row at the Blues Fest here in Byron Bay, and it was just phenomenal. Like, you know, he was just still absolutely just delivering.
Phenomenal artist. He
Yeah.
was a phenomenal artist. He was. Can you tell me or remember first album or cassette you got?
Yeah, the first album I bought, vinyl I bought with my own money was I'm gonna say it was Purple Rain.
Was it really Purple Rain? That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
it was.
That's real cool. That's a
Yeah,
great album, man. I
and
didn't
playing
expect.
playing the last track on side one, just like trying backmasking it, on the vinyl player and trying to understand what he's saying. And I'm thinking, man, this is where Slayer probably got it from.
Right, right. Now, okay, early teens. Were you like me, one of the top contenders in the air guitar competitions?
Of course, of course. Look, I would use a tennis racket because I just felt like there's something that resembles strings there, and you've got a name.
Right.
Any stray tennis balls comes, you're on it.
No,
Uh,
that's great.
yeah, like over here. I mean, obviously, we were kind of, it's what you kind of could find
Mhm.
music wise. I mean, it's not like obviously how it is today for the internet. You can just
Oh,
search
oh,
anything.
yeah, right.
So when you found something, it was like, holy shit! Like I need
Right.
I need to like get this to as many people as I can, and there was a program that we had, and still runs now. It's called Rage, and it basically was the only video program that would play
Okay.
basic videos from the start to the finish. There was no like cutting in and cutting out. It was like start to finish.
Oh,
So
nice. I like that.
and in the early, like late 80s, early 90s, you'd have to stay up until 4 a.m. to see the good stuff, right? So I
Right.
remember seeing, right around this time, I remember seeing, a Loud Love Soundgarden for the first time. Um,
Okay.
and just being absolutely blown away. Alice in Chains, and then all these Seattle bands that were coming through,
Oh,
and
right.
um, and it was just so you'd be kind of like you're napping, and then your alarm would go off at 3:45, and you go, okay, I gotta
It's
wake
coming
up. Yeah,
up.
yeah, and then whatever we fell over that, in that 45 minutes, you'd be at the record store the next day
Oh,
trying,
right. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
trying to play vinyl or CDs. I think by that stage, but
Yeah. Right.
and then around that time too, uh, you know, somebody turned me on to Stevie Ray live on Macombo, which was just it was a life changing moment. Like it
I bet.
really, yeah, it was just like, what is this guy doing to this guitar? Like, or maybe more to the point, what isn't he doing to the guitar? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. That would be the better question, I think.
yeah, it was insane. It was like, but it was just, it was such, like such a great introduction, to the blues, for me, and something that just stuck, pretty much, and it's still there now. I can't seem to shake it off. Ooh, we frozen?
Let's see what's going on. You there?
Yeah, I got you.
A little bleep of the hiccup on the internet, it looked like.
Yeah, you can edit. You can edit that out later, right?
No, I don't edit. That's the problem. So, I hate editing. No, no, no. Okay. So when did you're a hell of a guitar player and singer. I mean, when did you pick up the guitar? What age?
I think for me it was probably around 14, 13,
Oh,
14.
okay.
And 14-year-old me just wanted to learn how to play a bar chord, without hurting.
Here we are. Here we are.
Oh my god. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll make this work maybe 3 hours later, but we'll get there. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. 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 So I think, yeah, 13, 14 years old, picked up a guitar and just wanted to be able to play a bar chord without it hurting.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, 13, 14. What did you start learning to? Did you self-taught? Did you get some lessons? And were you playing rock, country? Did you go to blues? What was it?
Um, oh, look, I think back then it was what, you started getting lessons and it was whatever you could kind of, you could steal from anybody,
Right.
just any, like, and I still get lessons, sort of to this day, I still have one of the best guitar players in the country, in my opinion, and many others, a lovely gentleman by the name of Steve Edmonds. He still imparts his wisdom on me, on a regular basis. Yeah, and he's my guru. So uh, yeah, but yeah, look, it's a bit of it becomes a bit of an obsession, I think, and it still is. As you probably know, I can see guitars hanging on the wall
Yeah.
where you are, and it's an addiction, but it's a pretty good one compared to some of the other ones out there. So
It is, and I tell the newbies coming up, you don't ever learn the guitar. You're always learning the guitar. I
yeah,
mean, always
yeah.
something, definitely. Now, do you have a problem like I do that I like to buy a lot of guitars? How many do you have?
I'm probably up to about the 10 or 11, maybe 12. Um, but for me, it's more of I've got a pedal problem. I
You got
just
a
need.
pedal
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. My wife sort of says, what does this one do? Wow, 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 like the last one. And I'm like, but you don't understand. It's the tone of the wow, 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 man. Like,
Just don't get it.
yeah, that's right. Just give me the money, lady. Yeah.
I
So,
remember.
yeah,
This-
continuously just buying them and then trying to find space on my board and then going, you're going to have to make room for you. And, it's a real big problem.
right. I think back in the early '90s when I was married, I think I insulted my wife because I brought home a big muff. So she didn't get that right off the
Oh my god, that's gold, dude. That's gold.
bat. So here it is, baby. Oh my goodness! No wonder I wasn't married long.
That's right.
Oh man! All right. Now, did you start any or join any bands in high school, or what'd you do?
It was probably after high school. Yeah, just a couple of local kind of bands. Ended up in a blues band where we were doing, early Fleetwood Mac covers and
Oh,
yeah, Ormonds. Some Hendrix. Oh God, we did a bit of Foghat. We did a bit of everything.
oh,
And some. God, I can't remember now, but yeah, it was such a great like way to kind of get your chops together and
sure.
and
Oh yeah.
and start putting it together, and
Right.
we used to do like in memory of Elizabeth Reed, and we do it like we get it pretty close to the original, and then generally go off on a 5-minute solo each, and sometimes it could turn into 10 if you had to make up time, but it
Good.
was great, man. It really, you really, I think that's the best way to kind of find your way around the instrument is to get into a band and throw yourself out there and just go for it. And some nights you're going to come off and you're going to go, eBay all my gear, take it. Yeah.
Right.
Other nights you're going to go, holy shit, like that went somewhere else tonight.
That was cool. Now,
Yeah,
with those bands, were you doing a lot of covers and less originals?
yeah. That band was pretty much all covers.
Okay.
That was just us just had this, the guys that were in the band at the time. We just had a love for all the old blues music, and
Sure.
Peter Green was and still is a massive influence. That whole early Fleetwood Mac to me is
Oh
just it's
man,
magical, you know.
it is. It's,
I don't think there'd be a Gary Moore if there was, you know, if
um,
there was no Peter Green, you know, and countless amounts of other players. Like, you know, the amount of guitar players that come out of that whole late English era,
oh
you
man.
know, Clapton, Mick Taylor, Peter Green, you know, the list goes on. I mean, it's just insane. And then Hendrix comes over there and goes, you know, come on, you know.
Right, watch this.
Yeah, that's right. Here's one more beer. Yeah, yeah,
Right, stand back. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so now Killing Flaw. Now that's not too old of a band, is it? About 2018.
Yeah, yeah, we kind of got together. Yeah, it was about 2018. So the way that all sort of started was Nathan and I, who's the drummer, we were playing in a blues band prior, like a boogie blues band,
Okay.
and I sort of started writing these songs. Or coming up with these ideas, and so we jammed them with the band that we're in at the time, and it just kind of wasn't sitting with what we were doing. It was a bit heavier. At this stage, I wasn't singing; I was just playing guitar.
Oh,
So yeah, so that didn't sort of evolve until later. So yeah, so we kind of come up with these. You know, I was kind of coming. I go, man, I got this idea, and so we jam, and then we just started get flesh out these ideas, and then Dave, who's the bass player, among
okay.
everything else he can do, he's just an amazing talent. He you know, he's a brother, and he came in and he was like, yeah, man, like let's jam, and we jammed, and I think the first song we came up with was the first single that we released, which was called I Am. And
Oh,
it just felt kind of really natural, you know, like because we've all known each other and we've all played in the Sydney scene and passed each other over the years. So yeah, when we got into a room together, it's pretty effortless, you know.
okay. So you guys knew each other before you actually started Killing Flaw.
Yeah. So Nathan and Dave were in a band called Self as a Seed, which were pretty big, sort of in the Sydney scene in the
Mm-hmm.
2000s. And they were supporting bands like Cog, Carnival, Mammal. Actually, Dave's just come off a tour with Mammal, filling
Oh
in
wow.
guitar with them. Yeah, they just opened for they just did a tour with the Jets around Australia, and yeah, so you know, and Dave sort of has a local studio, Studio
Oh,
Blues, South Windsor, so in the Hawkesbury area. So uh, you know, it was just kind of, you know, it's like for me, I'm always looking to surround myself with people that, you know, great players that are
sure.
much better than I am, so I can be in there and you know, you
Right on. Heck
that
yeah.
and that mojo, you know, and those guys are just two of the best musicians that I've ever met in my life, you know. So I find myself, you know, pinching myself.
Right.
I don't tell them that. And hopefully, they don't watch this. But you know, but yeah, no, you know, I just find myself going, how the hell did I get?
Oh,
You know,
oh, well, that's really cool. Okay, so now three-piece band. You know, I listen to music. I love the hell out of it. I mean, I'm looking at it. I'm calling it outlaw blues and rock. I mean, it's great.
thank you, thank you.
A hell of a drive to it. Now, when you guys got together, was it kind of the blues rock road you wanted to go down to? Was it or just something you wanted to bring to them and pursue?
Yeah, look, I'm a massive fan of like I really like my favorite living guitar player now is Doyle Bramhall the second. You know, I think
Sure.
he's just the greatest thing that ever has walked the earth. Like he's just his tone, his feel, you know, the way he presents himself. He's just like the coolest cat ever, and he's just got it all going on. Like, you know, he really he's just got he's there's just so much in there, and you know, and there has to be. I mean, Clapton's had him as his sideman for how long
Oh
now? So,
wow.
you know, so yeah, for me coming in, you know, I really wanted to like I'm predominantly, even though I was a, you know, a teenager in the '90s, I'm predominantly a, you know, I love the blues, so that's really part of my playing. So I find it really hard to kind of for anything else to come out, like, you know.
Okay.
So it was always going to be blues, rock. You know, it was always
Yeah.
gonna be blues to a point, you know, and
All
you know,
right.
it's an amalgamation, I think, of you know, the you know, the love of the blues, and then the grunge era that I went through, you know, that sort of, and I think if you look at a lot of those bands from that era, you know, like Alice in Chains were, if you broke that down, there's some of that is quite blues based, you know,
Yeah, true.
and
True.
Soundgarden also have that kind of a bluesy, like a really sludgy Black Sabbath
Yeah.
blues kind of a vibe to them. I mean, even Sabbath themselves, like, you know,
Oh yeah. Back in
yeah,
the
the end of Symptoms of the Universe, when it breaks into that kind of,
day. Right.
if you listen to Ozzy's voice in that is so, like, he's just channeling
He's
these
amazing.
bands.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It just gives me chills thinking about it. But
I
so yeah,
love.
so we started. You know, that music was, you know, basically I just come in with some ideas, and then, you
Okay.
know, the guys, you know, Dave and Nathan are probably more, you know, they're into heavier sort of stuff like Rage Against the Machine, and
Oh, it's heavy.
yeah. So so it, I guess it's kind of like a bit of a, you know, it's a washing machine, man, or,
Right.
you know, our three sort of, you know, influences go into this washing machine, and then it sort of tumbles, and
Just
then,
comes together as one.
and it's, you know, because it's, you know, there's another song that we did, that's probably got a bit more of like a what I thought was a bluegrass feel.
Okay.
It's a song of ours that we released a couple of months ago called Shame, um, and I've never learnt or played a bluegrass song in my life, but I just went, what does it sound like if I, you know, if I tried to write something like that, and
Right.
diving too far, I just kind of just went with what I thought my interpretation of that would be, and then when the guys come in, and then they do what they do over it, it's like, you know, it's massive, you know, and
It's fun boy.
it's like, oh, okay, man, this is just gone, you know, beyond
Beyond.
what I dreamt up in you know, in my little studio at home. So yeah, I
Okay.
mean, I'm very adamant that you know, I don't write the songs, but I come in with the ideas, and then together we make them songs.
Okay, I like that. Now, the Stormwalker, that's a new release.
Yes, so yes, yeah.
I love that song. I love it a lot.
Thank
So
you.
now you released that as a single. How many singles have you released so far?
I think we're up to 5 now.
Five. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we going to get to a certain number and put it on an EP or album?
Yeah, look, we're talking about doing a vinyl pressing next year.
Oh,
'Cause
hey.
we've got, you know, like another 3 or 4 tracks in intro here, and a little instrumental and stuff like that that we'll probably put on it
Okay.
to,
Cool.
and then, you know, take these collection of songs that we've got so far, and then, you know, create just a nice you know, cohesive,
Right on.
you know, yeah, just a
Right.
little, you know, like what we grew up on, you know, like, you know, you put it on from start to finish.
Right. Right.
It's a, yeah. So
Right.
that's the idea. I mean, maybe one more release, or maybe the next release will be, you know, will be you know, the album with the extra tracks. So
All
yeah.
right. Well, before we get ahead of ourselves, tell everybody out in podcast land platforms they can find your music and everything about Killing Flaw.
Sure. Okay. So basically, we're on all digital streaming platforms. You know, pretty much everything and anything.
Everything.
Yeah, we're on socials. We're on, you know, we're on Facebook and Instagram, and Flaws, obviously, as you can see on your down the bottom there of that. Oh, over there, there it is. Yeah, FLAW, ladies and gentlemen. Just so you're not looking for the Howling Wolf audio.
There you go, Killing Flaw.
There's probably a million bands called Killing Flaw, spelled FLOOR, but yeah, I don't know whether I haven't been diagnosed as a dyslexic yet or not, but or I just know this.
You're okay. You know, now, have you guys, since you got together, been playing out a lot?
Yeah, look, this year we didn't do a great deal. I think this year we had some stuff lined up. It didn't pan out because, we all work in other bands.
Okay.
Dave's in this band, Quadzilla,
I
who are,
like it. Sure.
ladies and gentlemen, Quadzilla, please go look them up.
Godzilla.
They are phenomenal. They're another a local three piece, and Dave actually plays guitar and sings in that. So,
Oh,
uh, and then Nathan's in a band called MCP as well. That there's like a sort of they're an instrumental sort of. Oh man, I don't want to get in trouble here. They're great. They're like an art rock kind of. I don't know, but it's
sure.
real. They released an album with a comic book and everything with it, and it was
Oh, that's
just
pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
and I'm Moonlight in the Rolling Stones show, so
Okay.
um, yeah, I get to do all the big stuff and
So,
yeah, so
well, well, when you guys do play out, you do mostly smaller venues, or do you get to jump on bigger stages like festivals or open up for others?
yeah. Well, basically, we did our first show in I think it was March or April of 2023. It might have been June. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
and we did the Portland Blues Festival, and that was organised by a lovely friend of ours, Leanne Goff, and that had some killer guitar players and different bands and great Australian blues rock bands that were on that bill, and that was just like that was our first gig, and it was like amazing.
Oh, sweet.
And it got received really well, so we kind of got spoiled straight off the bat. And then
So,
we did a couple local shows, sort of down the Hawkesbury towards the end of that year, and then again, like this year, didn't kind of really come together. But so we used the time this year to kind of spend at the studio and just kind of knock out a few more of these songs and getting ready for 2025. Yeah, so we're in the talks at the moment. We're possibly looking at going over to Japan for some dates.
nice. Nice.
So we're just in discussion with the guys with that at the moment. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just missed out on the Thredbo Blues Festival over here, but we might have a look in for 2026. So we'll see. But yeah, well, we just want to get back out.
Sure.
Playing. The thing that that a big problem here now is and has been for a few years is a lot of the venues are closing down. And so there's not a great deal, places to play in Sydney.
Okay.
Not how it was, say 20 years ago.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. There's nothing around. No, not like it was then.
It's there's probably I'm going to say like 10 to 12 venues tops throughout Sydney that I can think of.
That's
Um,
bad.
and that's probably pushing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and there's so many great bands here. Like there is so
Hmm.
many amazing bands. I mean, Quadzilla. There's another band, Simple Stone, great friends of ours. The Grand Union. There's just so many. There's young guy Ash Wild who's out here. He's killing it. I mean, yeah, it's sad because it's it's really hard to get a gig with where the places actually are still sort of operating,
True.
whereas when it was sort of pumping, I mean, you could be out playing on a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, multiple gigs
Oh,
through the week.
right.
Yeah, and playing to different crowds, so yeah, it's a bit. I don't know. I always look at these things like sometimes these things have to die for them to rise up and be big again. Do you know what
Yes, I agree to that to a point. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It's the same here. Same
yeah,
here. I mean,
yeah,
there's not too many places for original bands to play original music.
yeah,
Uh, it's just after COVID, it really hurt everybody. Bands broke up, the venues closed shop, and now with the economy, people just don't want to go out and spend the money.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I always argue that the next big thing could be just down the road at your local hotel, but you're not
I
gonna,
agree.
if you don't go down there support these guys and buy a T-shirt
I
and
agree.
stand in the room and let them feel your energy, because that's what these all these bands like us are out there, really putting everything into it, and you
You,
just a lot of times we just need an audience.
yeah, it doesn't have to be big at all. Sometimes just one person is fine. You know? I'm serious.
It's an exchange of energy, and if there's no one in the room bar the other bands and their girlfriends, well, that's a little,
Right. Let me talk about a couple of songs. I want to talk about the new songs, Stormwalker. Now, did you come up with this concept, Stormwalker? Did you write this?
Yeah, so yeah, this one, a dear friend of mine had moved to the other side of Australia, mid 2000s, and then mid 2020 he got pretty sick pretty quickly, an aggressive cancer, and unfortunately he passed within a couple of weeks. And with the chaos and everything at that point in time, I couldn't get over there to sort of see him, to sort of say goodbye. So, this song became the goodbye, that I sort of couldn't get to him on at that point in time. So it's been very healing for me, like to write, to have this out, and we're very lucky to actually get it out, to release it on his birthday in
Nice.
November this year. So, yeah, it's like, yeah, I totally know he would be absolutely loving it. All the attention.
Most
Yeah,
stuff. Well,
yeah.
that's beautiful to do that for them. Next song I want to talk about, Yesterday Blues.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes. That's
Who's,
our.
your,
Yeah, go on.
who's playing the harmonica?
That's the great Shane Carter.
Ah,
Probably one of the best harmonica players that I've heard in this country.
oh,
He's
really?
New Zealand born, but he's a big, scary looking dude. But um, if you don't piss him off, you're okay. But
Right.
he's a beautiful guy, and he's just such an incredible talent. And we actually, Nathan and I played in that boogie blues band with him. That was the band before we had Killing Flaw. So
Okay.
um, yeah, it was, you know him and I would trade solos every night, and it was, it was just like, it was another one of those moments where I'd be kind of pinching myself, going, I can't believe I'm playing with this guy. Like, he's just unbelievable. So
Right.
I mean, and play the harmonica on that track, and
It was
yeah,
great.
amazing. Yeah, that was again another attempt for us at what I thought would be a country blues.
That's
Uh,
wonderful.
yeah, so yeah.
Okay, now is anybody helping you with PR or just you guys doing that by yourself?
Predominantly we're doing it. We're just kind of pushing it ourselves at the moment. Actually, I'm in talks with a PR company actually after this call. So fingers crossed, man. Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, it'd be nice to just for us to get out of Australia. I mean, with these last two releases. A friend of mine, Kippo, who's another amazing musician. He's in a band, Three Wise Monkeys. He really helped us get this, out, outside of Australia. So we were getting airplay, in the States. We're getting airplay in the UK,
Great.
Japan, Netherlands. It's all these really random Greece. There's all these really random places. I'm thinking, oh, God, people are all over the world listening, hearing it, and it's like, I just go, wow, it's cool.
That's
So
cool.
yeah,
That's real cool. Yeah,
yeah.
always reach as far as it can, man. That is awesome. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm in Detroit today. Like, how good is this? Like,
Were you in Detroit?
yeah,
That's cool. That's great. That's just a couple hours from me. I love it. All right, now, Rob, we're going to go to the fun questions and we're going to see what we get out of you on these, okay?
let's go. Be gentle.
All right, he says be gentle. All right, first question, two answers. We're thinking around the world, and I know you probably thought of this. What two stages Anywhere in the world does Rob want to be on and play on?
I think I'm Red Rocks is going to be the most popular one, right?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
that'd be unbelievable to play there. Um, Man, anywhere will have us really.
There you go. I like that open-end answer.
Yeah, yeah. We'll play anywhere. Yeah,
Anywhere.
yeah.
We'll go
Yeah,
to
just
Red Rock.
play anywhere you want.
Right. We'll go to Red Rocks and we'll bring you over to the Whiskey a Go Go or something like that
Yeah, that sounds
in
great.
LA. Oh,
Great.
that would be a fun stint. That'd be great. All right. I'm gonna shoot right to this one, Alan. I want to hear the answer on this one. So you guys, what's the largest crowd you played for?
In this band,
Hmm. Or any
probably.
band for that matter, because it's about you right now.
Yeah, okay. And I think maybe 400.
Oh, that's good size. Good size crowd. All right. And okay, so you get out on the stage and the band and everybody starts jamming and stuff, and people start turning around and getting to that stage, rocking and rolling, doing what they do, dancing, swaying. Hell, I don't know, but most of all, you might look down and say, "Hey, there's somebody singing my song. What the hell?" When you see that, Rob, how's it hit in the heart make you feel when you see people do that?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a bit. It's yeah, it's definitely like what's going on here? Like, are these guys? Are these
Well,
guys okay? Yeah. I still think it's hilarious that anyone's listening to anything that I sing. Um, so
that's great.
I'm only a singer in this band by default because I couldn't find anyone else to do it. So
Nobody wants to sing, so it's on you.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So I
fun.
apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize now.
Right, right. That's all right. We'll let you get away with that. All right. Next question. Two answers on this. People, person alive, person passed away. Who, since you were a kid, have you always wanted to jump on stage and perform with?
Oh wow, that's hard.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, I think yeah, it'd have to be like the passed away one would have to be half and half. So like Hendrix and Stevie Ray, like you know.
There you
But then, holy shit, man! Like, how could you be on a stage for those people? It'd be
go.
like,
Right.
I'll hand you a guitar. You know, that's about all right.
Right, right. That's
Yeah.
great.
And living, oh man, jeez. I just want to see. I just like we haven't. Doyle hasn't toured here yet, so I just want to see Doyle.
Well, all right. That'd
Yeah,
be
so
cool.
if you're watching this by some strange chance, get over here, sir.
Get over there. Rob wants to jump on stage.
That's right. Yeah, please, please. Yeah. Oh no, man. I think Michael. I don't think I'm good enough to
That'd
go.
be That'd be real cool. That would be real cool. Now, I did notice you getting, like you said, radio play all over and stuff, internet radio play and stuff. You getting on doing some podcasts and things like that, different things.
Yeah, we did a local a two triple R here. It was on virtual reality show. I think that was on our local radio. We did
Okay,
an interview with Chris there. For 2 hours, we just got to spin music and he was
sure.
he was a habitual line stepper when it come to profanities on air. So so that was a lot of fun.
All
And
right.
yeah, it was hilarious. It was like, oh, these guys know. He just does not care. So
Doesn't care at all.
he's such a great guy. We had so much fun, and I did one for a station in California the other week, which was the 4 a.m. Get Up, which was pretty pretty interesting. But hey, like, how
Right.
often do you get to talk to people in other countries? So totally.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, let's get to this question, and this is where we've got to put Rob on the spot. All right. You've been doing this long enough, Rob. Please, you're going to be honest here because nobody's listening or watching, okay? It's just me and you right now. Embarrassing moments. Embarrassing moments on stage. I want to hear them.
Jeez. Um,
It's your lie.
I'm trying to think, but probably nothing comes to mind that's been like horribly embarrassing. Like more like kicking your own lead out, or I haven't tripped over yet. Touch wood. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't
Okay.
a classic seniors for you as I come across the stage. But thankfully I kind of try and stay near the microphone because
There you go.
you're less prone to to injury.
True, very true. And as you
Actually,
get older,
I have a great story. Actually, I do have a story. I do have a story.
all right.
When I was playing in the Stone show, I the guy said, "Oh, we've got a wireless for you." And I was like, okay. And I'd never used a wireless before, and they said, all right. And then all of a sudden it was like, I can walk to the back of the room
Right, right, yeah.
and still hear my guitar and the band's playing. And so I just kind of went a little bit silly with it. And the next thing you know, I was on the dance floor and a woman grabbed me on the ass so hard to the point where I almost swung around and swung the guitar neck, the guitar headstock into to knock her out because it was assault, and she was like, "Here's your pepper." But yeah, and so after that, I ended up on stage and I didn't. I handed the wireless back after gig and said, "No, you can't go out in there, man. They're aggressive,
Right. They're
These
aggressive.
these older, these 60-year-olds, they get a couple of shandies into them, mate. They get hit.
Oh.
They get
Those hands just to keep a touching, don't they?
By the way, I'm not Mick Taylor. I'm from the Blue Mountains, right?
Right.
It's grabbing me like that lady, yeah. But
Right. Right. Yeah.
it's the uninhibitor, isn't it?
You have some great fans out there, my friend. That's wonderful. Well, we're getting towards the end of the show, Rob. A couple more questions. Since you're old like me, no. Yeah, right. Any advice for these youngsters out here that want to do what we do?
Just man, get in a band and just get into a room together and write songs and play and just play wherever you can, uh, anything and everything, any gig that comes up. That's what we did when we were younger. You probably did the same, it's like you've got a call. It was like, yeah, we're there, and it could be on a Tuesday night to nobody, but we were there. For us, we always looked at those gigs as paid rehearsals.
That's right, right. Pay rehearsal.
So pardon me. So yeah, like it was the best way. I think you just need to get into a band and you just need to get your hands dirty, and you got to start at the beginning. You got to start playing all the shitty clubs. You got to
Oh yeah.
gigs that no one else wants to do, and you just do them. And that's how you find. That's how you build your craft, and you
You
know
do.
that's how it comes together. I mean, there's no shortcuts. There's no
No.
shortcuts in life, and there's definitely no shortcuts in the music industry.
No.
Um, I mean, you see a lot of people go on to these talent shows, like I won't name them, but for copyright reasons. But but yeah, but like, it's like all of a sudden, they could be this incredible talent. They blow up for 15
Oh
minutes. And then, unfortunately, you're always labelled as the guy or the kid or the lady that went on this show,
yeah.
instead
Sure.
of being the talent that's been busting their ass in the
Right.
pubs and clubs. And then they just they get frustrated and go, I'm going on here, and I just feel it's career suicide when you go onto these things. So
Yeah.
just
It's,
remember. just remember, kids, there's no shortcuts, man. You got to put the work in,
You
and
do.
we're still putting the work in, and because we love it, it's because it's,
That's right.
what else are we going to do? You know what I mean? Like, we're lifers, man. This is it.
We're right. We're musicians. We're entertainers, like you said. It's in our blood, and this is what we do. We love it.
Yeah.
Definitely. 5 years from now, future-wise, where do you want to see Killing Flaw? You want to be out touring? A couple albums out there? What do you want?
I'd like to be hanging out with you in Detroit. So
I'd
on
like
tour.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Look, we just want to play. We're kind of really. I feel like we're starting to find our feet. Musically. I mean, it's if you go back and listen to our the 5 songs that we've released so far, it's a bit of a jump. They all jump all over the place. But that's kind of our intention, is to keep
Yeah.
to keep people engaged. I mean, and also to not be sticking to the formula, because if you want to hear a great blues rock song, well, there's go and listen to Lance Lopez, go listen to Eric Gales, go
Right.
like, I mean, they've so for us it's like, I kind of always look at it that we're children of the 90s, and but there's also deeply, for me, rooted in the blues, so it's an amalgamation of those sort of things. So yeah, well, we just want to I just want to play. We want to play. We want to get out there. I mean, the Japan thing would be great. Would love to come to the States at some point.
I'd love to have you here.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, look, it'd be a bucket list tick for sure.
Good. Rob from Killing Flaw has graced us today. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Now you can go check out the music and turn it up, man, and rock out with this great blues that these guys do. It's amazing, man. So I can't wait to hear what you got coming up. I want you back 6 months or a year. Let's see what's going on with Killing Flaw. All right, my friend?
Let's do it, brother. Thank you so much for
Good.
having me.
All right, it's your show. How you want to end it? You got anybody out there you want to shout out to, say hey to, hi to, or anything?
Shout out to my family for putting up with me, and the boys. I think they want to shout out to their families for putting up with them too.
Right.
You know, pretty much for the people that need medals. You know what I mean? Like,
God bless our families. That's great.
yeah, that's
All right.
insane. You're insane. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like, what are you talking about here? Of course I need.
exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right, Rob, we're going to get out of here. Say we're out of here. We're out of here, everybody. Peace.